Also, another thing to do, because we list all of our books using bulk uploading programs like ScanLister, we can't really check prices. I mean, at least the book lister can't check prices. So if an employee wanted to steal money from us, a book sourcer wanted to steal money from us, they could go to a thrift store. They could just literally walk over to the reference section, take 100 books off the shelf, put it in their cart, go check out, and go home. Or drop those books off at the lister and go home. And the lister would take those books, and the lister doesn't know because the lister's not pricing while they're listing. They'd scan all the books and send them off to Amazon. And then they sit at Amazon and we're wondering, why aren't any of these books selling? And because we have automatic repricers, all these books would go down to the minimum price. So we see all these books sitting there at $10.95. We'd be like, what in the world is going on? And you know what? The book sourcer just got away with a quick $100, right? Well, if you do random quality checks, random price checks, you can determine whether or not, generally your book sources are doing a good job. And so what I'd recommend you do is every week, at least, go through 25 or so books randomly from certain particular sourcers' inventory and just check them out and see where they're at. And obviously, you got to leave a little bit of leeway because the Amazon Marketplace changes. And sometimes the data that we have on the PDA and on these other sourcing apps isn't the greatest. So you got to leave a little bit of grace there. But as a rule of thumb, the bulk majority of the books that they source should meet the company's criteria, should meet what you're looking for in a book. If it doesn't, then that information needs to be shared with the book sales manager. That information needs to be shared with the sourcer, and something needs to happen. And again, if it happens occasionally, you can take some steps to try to fix the problem. If it happens a lot, then that could be signs that somebody's trying to steal from you. Okay, we talked about payroll a little bit. Every receipt that people collect for the purchase of books, they take a picture of it or they scan it in their computer and they email it to us with a spreadsheet that says these are all the books that I sourced and dropped off, and this is how much the books cost me, and this is how much you owe me in finder's fees. And then I also have a separate section for any supplies. Then we're able to go through that spreadsheet and look at all the receipts and reconcile that. So it does hold them responsible for purchases that they're claiming need to be reimbursed. And then for the book lister, it's the same kind of thing. They're listing books, so they'll tell us how many books came in, books set aside, books listed and shipped. And then we could go on to Amazon Seller Central and we can look at all the shipments that they put together and make sure that those shipments are getting there and getting unloaded with the amount of books that they say were in the shipment. Again, just another way to hold them accountable. Because what would prevent somebody from saying, "Oh yeah, I shipped 200 books in 5 boxes"? You're like, okay, I mean that sounds like a good be reasonable. But Amazon gets it, and although the shipment said 200 books inbound, they only pull out 150. I mean, does that mean that your book lister just scammed you 50 books worth of commissions? It could. So being on top of these things is really important. And then as far as the manager is concerned, the manager's collecting information from both and sending all the information to you, and they'll tell you how much their commission is for all the sources and for all the listers, if you hire a book sales manager, that is. It's also really important to guard your information from information theft. And one way you can do that is give out information selectively. So don't give your whole business model to your book sourcer or your book lister or your book sales manager, even for that reason. Just give them the information they need to know. Book sourcers need to know X, Y, and Z. That's it. Book listers need to know A, B, and C. That's it. Obviously, book sourcers need to know what the book managers need to know what the book sourcers and the book listers know, but you don't need to give them all the keys to the castle. There's a lot of things that you're going to be doing for your business behind the scenes, and they don't really need to know all that stuff because it's one way just to keep your company safe from being duplicated and creating a competitor for you. Now, I'm not super paranoid about this happening, but it is a good business practice. We tell the people that work for us that we get the books. We handle all the customer service. We handle all the inventory management. We handle all the repricing. We obviously deal with customer returns. We handle Amazon when Amazon has questions and comments. We handle issues involving the listing page, et cetera, et cetera. And then obviously we pay for all the books. We fund the entire process. So we play a big role in this company, and we want them to know that. But they don't need to know the ins and outs and this very specific stuff that we do. Another way you can maybe safeguard your business is have them sign an NDA, as I mentioned before, non-disclosure agreement. If you don't know what a non-disclosure agreement is, just Google that term. You'll come up with a bunch of generic ones, and you can kind of work in what you want to say. And ultimately, it's an agreement that your workers sign that say that they're not going to disclose information about your business. You can also do like a non-compete agreement, where you say you're not going to come into competition with me. So how would you feel if you found out that one of your book listers was running their own Amazon business out of their house? So they would get your inventory in and send it off, and then apparently they'd be doing some of their own selling too. I think that'd kind of worry me, especially if they're selling books. I'd be a little leery that some of the books that were brought in never made it to the fulfillment center. And so having them sign something saying this is not allowed will just set the standard, because maybe they're an honest person and they just don't realize that would be a bad thing. And same with your book sales manager and sourcer too. You just want that information to remain confined. Now, there's a lot of people that say that NDAs and non-compete agreements don't hold up in court. I would never plan on taking anybody to court over these issues. I'd rather just fire them and move on. But it could just add a layer of accountability. They could, even just from a conscience standpoint, if somebody's thinking about opening up, have a fleeting thought about starting their own Amazon business, but they remember they signed this agreement, it could hold them in check. It could stop them from taking those steps. So in conclusion, you can't guarantee employees won't steal, and you can't guarantee that putting these safeguards in place are gonna do all these wonderful things for your business. But it's better to do these things. It's better to do as much as you possibly can than to do nothing at all. And even if it's just for the peace of mind, again, I'm not an overly paranoid guy, but because in the past we haven't had some of these checks and balances in place, it just makes me worry. It's like, what if the wool has been pulled over my eyes and this person who I think is a swell guy or gal is stealing from me and I'm letting him get away with it? Like, that can't happen. So these checks and balances will not only do the best, do really good to help you safeguard your business and help it run more efficiently and help the quality of books that come out of it be top notch, but it'll also give you some comfort and assurance knowing that you're doing all that you can to prevent some of these bad things to happen within your business. So hopefully you appreciated this video series. I really want to help you build a business that is protected, build a business that is run efficiently, and build a business that really pleases your Amazon customers. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, reach out to me. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.